Today you're gonna learn how to make a hot Nutella cheesecake drink. This hot winter drink was always one of the best sellers in my shops. Every year, getting close to winter time, the customers would always ask, when are you bringing out that hot Nutella cheesecake drink again? It was almost like a yearly anticipation, if you will. So this very special drink and recipe, I'm bringing to you, my viewers. So let's get started. The thing about this recipe is that it uses bubble tea shop ingredients because, well, I served it in my bubble tea shop. If you don't have access to these types of things, you can always find alternatives. So say, for example, the creamer powder. Right, well, some people might say, can I use coffee mate creamer powder? Maybe, but it's really gonna taste not exactly the same. The best thing that would be similar to this would be probably half and half in America or single cream here in the UK. Just a really, really thick, dense type of product that gives you that creaminess. And for the chocolate powder that we'll be using, which is a restaurant quality grade bubble tea shop ingredient, if you don't have access to that, the next best thing would probably be similar to, let's say, for example, Nestle chocolate milk mix or something like that. We wanna go for something that has a really dense, strong, chocolatey flavor that isn't chocolate milk. And if you're a cafe or a bubble tea shop, of course, buying a giant container of something like Hazelnut isn't really a big problem because you'll go through it within the month or even the week, depending on how many of these drinks you're making. But if you're at home, is it worth investing into a giant thing of hazelnut syrup? Well, I don't know. It depends on how many of them you're gonna drink. But a lot of companies do sell them in smaller sizes, so perhaps you'll be able to source something similar to that. So not only is this drink recipe amazing, and not only will you and your customers be coming back for more, but it's actually really simple to make. The only ingredient that you will need to make in advance is the salted cream mousse, which I will link just up here to my video where I show you how to make salted cream mousse. And alternatively, I will be sure to put the link in the description below. All right, so let's get started. First, we need 1 scoop of creamer, and I'm using my industry standard bubble tea shop scoop here. And next is 1 scoop of the chocolate powder. Next is 1 pump of hazelnut syrup. Now, of course, I don't have a pump on this product right now, but in my cafe, I would have a pump. So I would simply take this, put it underneath it, and just go pump. That's it. But here, of course, we're going to measure it out. Usually a pump will be between 7 to 10 milliliters. And I know from just experience that this pump was 10 milliliters. So I'm going to go ahead and measure in 10 milliliters of this. And if you are making a lot of my recipes and drinks at home, these giant containers of syrups actually last a really long time. I've had some that even set expiration dates of 2 or 3 years in advance. So that could be something for you to keep in mind. Not only are they really good for bubble tea drinks, but they're also good for, coffee drinks. And depending on the type of syrup, even summer spritzers and things like that. So just something to think about. All right, so I've got my hazelnut syrup here. All right, and next is my favorite ingredient, Nutella. I could just eat this all day long. I think Nutella is one of those things like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. I'm a Nutella lover, guys. And using my scoop, we want a heaping scoop of Nutella. I would call this a heaping scoop of heaven. I'm very tempted to eat this right now, but I'm going to save it for my drink. And next we're going to boil a kettle. We need some really hot water. All right, so now we need 200 milliliters of the hot water. And at this stage, you want to give it a really good stir because obviously the Nutella itself is a little clumpy. We want to make sure that there's no clumps at all and that it's just perfectly smooth. I like to start slowly, kind of going back and forth. And then once I feel it starting to break up, then I go in a circular motion. So this process could take up to about a minute. Just depends on how hot your water is, if your Nutella is room temperature. I know some people like to store it in the fridge. I personally keep mine in the cupboard or out on the counter, so I know it's gonna be room temperature. So again, just kind of stir it until you know that all of the clumps are dissolved, and then you're good to go to the next step, which is my favorite part. If you're liking this video so far, please do me a favor and click that like button. It just helps my video to get ranked on YouTube. Thanks so much. This is what makes it a cheesecake. It is my pink Himalayan sea salted cream mousse. It is just amazing. Once you add it to this drink, it just makes it go above and beyond anything that Nutella could ever be imagined. Just pure greatness. You'll need 60 milliliters of the salted cream mousse. All right, I think our drink is ready to assemble. If you're making this at a shop, of course, you'll just put it into your normal bubble teacup. You just want to make sure that the temperature when you serve it to the customers is about 50 to 55 degrees Celsius. And the best way to do that, especially when you're dealing with really, really hot boiling water, is simply to just put an ice cube in the cup before you pour it in. And then once the ice melts, it ends up being basically about that temperature. But of course, if you're at home, well, you kind of already know in advance to be careful when you take a sip of a hot beverage. But for some reason, when people go to cafes and coffee shops, they just assume it's going to be the correct temperature. And then a lot of times they burn their tongues. So definitely err on the side of caution if you own a shop and you're serving hot drinks. Maybe get one of those little thermometers or teach your staff the appropriate way to go ahead and prepare the drinks. That way they won't be served at too hot of a temperature. And I always like to finish off my hot creamy drinks with some nice whipped cream. And for this one, I'm going to be adding some gold pearlized sugar sprinkles just to give it that special touch of winter and luxury. Amazing. Well, I am really looking forward to trying this drink. It has been a whole year since I had it last. Just really looking forward to it. I'm ready. Here's to those cold winter nights and snuggling up by the fire. Oh wow. This is even better than I remember. I kid you not. Honestly, this is probably why it's been a year since I've drinking this. I could probably drink this every day and get enjoyment out of every single sip. I just love Nutella. I love the sea salted cream mousse. I love whipped cream. I love sprinkles. I just love everything about this drink. It's so amazing. Wow. I do remember now why all of the customers loved this drink, and it was our top selling winter drink. It's just so perfect. There's this balance of sweet and salty. It's kind of got a little bit of that savory to it. It's very, very nice. I cannot wait for you to try making this drink either at home or at your bubble tea shop. I definitely think you will give it a 10 out of 10. Just saying, just saying. And you might be wondering in a bubble tea shop, well, what topping would go best with this? Well, I do have to say that boba, aka tapioca pearl, would go the best. I'll go ahead and put that video up above and link a description down below how to make a large batch of boba for your shop. Well guys, thanks so much for joining me today as I made this delicious hot Nutella cheesecake that's fallen from heaven. From me to you, you're welcome. If you haven't already, please be sure to click that like button below, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment below. Are you also a huge Nutella fan? Could you put Nutella on almost anything like me? And inside drinks? And on top of bananas and toast? And crackers? And strawberries? The list goes on and on. I love bringing you amazing recipes like this one, so I'll see you again soon. I gotta go spend some time drinking this. I'm done.